They are first responders, men and women who risk everything to help others. Today on Search and Restore, we turn the tables on this firefighter by coming to his rescue. Tim and our volunteers transform his Challenger into a show-stopping pro tourer, then surprise this humble hero with the ultimate thank you.
I kind of had an idea what I wanted this car to look like. So I was thinking about this when we was driving back from St. Louis on this thing. And I was like, man, I kind of want to give him a modern street machine, kind of a pro tour thing. So that's the guys that I called. Thank you all you guys for coming. You're here, so now you can't leave. You have to stay to help build the car.
Coffee break, alrighty.
Everybody that comes in are true hot rod builders.
It's Mad Max.
That I do a lot of research on.
It's really not that bad.
They have a vision. Here it comes, boys. And that's just gonna gel and make things go that much smoother.
It actually feels pretty solid. It's not rusted on the inside of the fender well.
I'm sure there'll be something that'll fight us later, and we'll see that we weren't expecting, because that's just the nature of it all.
It's a Texas car.
Solid Texas car.
Look at that.
No rust. It never snows in Texas.
Car's in a lot better shape than what I thought it was going to be.
I think we can take care of it.
All the way to the other end of the building.
Hopefully they're ready for some 18 to 20 hour days.
And it's not a union shop, so there's no scheduled breaks. You just have to keep working, push through.
For build number 8, our first Mopar is pushed into the shop in the form of this '74 Dodge Challenger. Over 40 years ago, the Challenger was Chrysler's answer to the Mustang and Camaro. Based on the popular E-body Barracuda, but a little more roomy. They were late to the muscle car party, which for Challenger only lasted 5 years. Sales tumbled after the initial offering of the '70 Trans Am model. Engines got smaller thanks to emission requirements and the Arab oil embargo, which both contributed to the end of the muscle car era. But for collectors, these Mopars are still in big demand, especially '70 and '71 model Challengers and Cudas. They are rare and pricey. And although still hard to find, the '74 remains more affordable. Our car's owner is 46-year-old Ty Cardona, a firefighter from Hillsboro, Missouri.
All right, here's my garage. This is where I've got my Challenger hiding. Let's go in and see it. It's really in pretty good shape. I think it does need some quarter patch panels. I do have those purchased already. Here's the engine compartment. Here's the inside. Needs all new interior.
Ty is a lifelong gearhead who caught the muscle car bug early on.
In high school, I had a '73 Barracuda that I bought for $500. It was beat up. I mean, it was bad. My dad said, we'll make it look all right. And I was proud of that car. I took care of it and had to sell it when we got married because we needed a real family car, but it was a sacrifice I needed to make, and I needed to do it and did it.
I was pregnant with Trisha, and we got married. We kept it for a while, and then after I came home with the baby, he was like, there's no way. The day that car left, he stood in the driveway and cried. And I thought, he's never gonna get that car back.
That was 27 years ago, when two teens in love had to grow up fast, and they did, raising 3 great kids. And now are grandparents. Tammy's a middle school principal, Ty a public servant, with stints in the U.S. Coast Guard, Police Department, and now as a veteran firefighter.
You sacrifice for your family. Family is it. You know, you do what you have to do to make things better for your family.
Which brings us to the Mopar Ty bought 10 years ago as a father-son project. But the boys lost interest.
I decided, well, we'll just park it in the garage and maybe I'll get to it one of these days, you know. Between keeping all their trucks and cars running, I've never really had the time to get my own stuff fixed.
Being able to see him have something that we know that he gave up for us, it's more than words can say.
This week 1 is metal mock-ups, so we'll start just pulling everything off. Hammers, pliers, wrenches, ratchets.
Oh God, it's not in order.
Screwdrivers, wrenches.
It's like Christmas!
We got Mike and John from the Horsepower Show, and they're gonna do what they do best. Build a serious, reliable horsepower.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's inappropriate.
Good thing when you got a rusty old car, you got some WD-40 to crack all the hardware loose. It's called the Blue Torch technology. You put it on all these bolts, it's been on here forever, and you just kind of squirt it, and it'll seep in behind the bolts and loosen everything, and bolt just spins right off.
Look at that. They said I'd never amount to anything.
By Wednesday, we need to have pretty much a rolling car, all ground, all bare metal, all mock-ups, all metal work, all done this week.
A tall order indeed. Next, more teardown plus serious skills beget custom touches.
Week one is always anything custom metal and rust repair. So we're addressing the rust repair right now. Got it up in the air. So they're welding up bumper bolts, holes over there right now. And we got some grinding, ready to put some patches on, getting ready to pull the motor and transmission out. A little bit of everything going on.
You can see where it's touching here and it's touching here, but it's bowed out. We're going to take this over to the shrinker, and we're going to shrink up this metal from here to here. So it'll tighten that curve a little bit and fit right into the original panel hole. And it actually has fingers, and it'll take the fingers and it'll squeeze the metal together. So it's essentially just wadding the metal up. Don't want to do too much because you can't take it back out. So we'll do a little bit at a time until we get it to fit that panel just right.
Eddie's shop specializes in high-class interiors, and he's great with metal too. But the wildfires in Colorado last summer nearly took it all.
It came very close to my home, 30 miles from my home. So helping out a fireman was kind of special, especially this year. I feel blessed because I'm able to do something that I love to do every single day. There's a lot of people who don't get to do that. And I hate to use the term giving back, but I owe it.
I'm not sure if he should be running a cutting cord. I'm a little scared. Hey, we're gonna lower the car!
Just waiting on the forklift driver, then we'll have this engine out.
With everything disconnected, we're going to use the fork truck to lower the engine cradle with the transmission and all the accessories. Now all the connections are done, taken loose. All we got to do now is drive the forks underneath it.
Come on up. All right, you're on the K-frame now.
Relieve some weight off of the whole assembly, undo 4 bolts.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. That did it right there. And everything will come out of the bottom. Now back in the day, this was considered a muscle car. But as far as the power rating, it had a pretty weak 318 and a little thimble up top for a carburetor thanks to OPEC. Now this is the start of the new engine. We're using the block in the transmission for mock-up right now, and what it is it's a late model Hemi 5.7 truck engine. And we got the parts ordered, and we expect to see well over 525 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque, making it what a muscle car should have been.
So another cool thing that WD-40 has is this rust remover soak. What I'm gonna do is take some of these rusty bolts. These are actually the bag that we took out bumper bolts. Really rusty and crusty from being up underneath the car for all the years. I'm gonna take some of this rust remover soak and soak it for about 24 hours since these bolts are so rusty. You can soak it from 30 minutes to overnight to 24 hours. These are really rusty. So I'm just gonna let them soak, and I'll come back to them in a couple days. Wow, you can see the rust coming off of it already. And through the magic of TV, a couple days later, that nice and clean. I think I know this season, this is the best condition car that we've actually started on, and I hate to say that because something always shows up. Either something's been hit, bent, but we've kind of got the weird areas ground down and we're addressing it. So I think we're gonna be pretty good.
Coming up, we'll show you the secret mission Tim and our crew went on to surprise our firefighter. Stay tuned.
Holy cow.
We're here to get your car today,
man,
buddy.
You can have it. I've seen what you do.
One of the amazing things about these builds is discovering who the true beneficiaries are.
I'm really happy that I don't have to do this for a living because I'm just not that good at it. I work with computers most of the time, and so the opportunity to come here and really do what's my hobby, work with my hands, work with a bunch of great people. What a great opportunity that is. It's a lot of fun. It's really satisfying.
Satisfying because the volunteers know who they're working for. POWERBLOCK viewer Ty Cardona, a 16-year veteran of the Melville Fire Department in South St. Louis County. Ty was chosen out of tens of thousands of applicants, but to surprise this guy, our crew had to get a little creative. While Tim made the 350-mile trip across the Ohio River on the way to Missouri, We sent in camera guy Rob ahead of time on a secret mission.
Carabiners that we've been using, we use a D-ring, D-shaped carabiners.
Ty's in charge of our high-angle rescue rope team.
Deputy Chief Tim Dempsey was our insider.
So the plan was to have him put together a training video on ropes and on rigging system for high-angle rescues and that kind of stuff. So as soon as you tell him that, he was serious about putting together a serious class. I don't even think he had time to think about anything else but this class.
So I spent all day with him, through the training and videos, to the classroom. We actually did rope rappelling in a tower at the other station. And he thinks this is legit until the afternoon. Then we surprise him. So I needed Ty out front at about 2 o'clock, because that's when we're going to bring the search and restore truck down. I needed everybody in the fire station out front. Little did he know, it was all set up for when Tim comes down the street.
Holy cow.
He's excited.
I think they're taking my car.
I think we're looking for you, aren't we?
Yeah, you sure
Ty?
are. Holy cow.
We're here to get your car today, buddy.
Man, you can have it. Man. That's cool.
So I don't know if now is a good time to tell you that all this today, these are our camera guys that's been here with you. So all these guys might want to be mad at you right now. So
I'll buy pizza, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. They're gonna do my Challenger.
Are you? Oh, leave it to him to get it done.
I never win anything.
Yeah, we held a secret. It was getting tough there at the end, but I mean, Ty deserves it. When his family finds out about it, his boys, they're gonna be ecstatic.
he was almost starting to well up a little bit, but then he's like, I can't cry in front of the guys.
He's done that before.
It's my wife, Tammy.
Hi.
I'm Tim.
Hi, Tammy Cardona.
This is my son, Tyler, our daughter, Trisha.
Hey.
Hi.
This is my son, Travis. We call him T-Rav.
Well, I've waited long enough. I want to see this car. Let's go. Hey. There it is.
What do you think, Tim?
It's really not that bad, is it?
No, it's not too bad.
Okay, so what was your plans with the car?
I had that 73 Barracuda. I kind of go with a yellow theme. I was going to put a little 360 in it with some type of fuel injection on it to make it easier to drive. And I want something I can drive a lot, handle good, maybe some air conditioning.
You know we're pretty much allowed to do whatever we want once we take it.
Oh yeah, do what you want, fix it.
Okay, let's load this up, get back to the tech center.
If you're thinking about trying out for this, do it. You know, I don't deserve any blessings God gives me, but I'm appreciative of them.
It's going to be his baby, not to mention the time that him and his boys can enjoy that car together.
I can't fathom why you think I deserve it, but I sure am happy that you do.
Call them magicians, wizards, whatever. What these volunteers can do with metal is simply amazing. Stay tuned.
The crew we have this week so far is gelling really good. We have one luxury that 4 guys came from one shop, so those guys work together every day.
I got great guys, we're all dedicated. I mean, a lot of my guys actually slept at the shop, pulled all-nighters. Jared's 25, Matt's relatively new to our crew, and he amazes us every day with his talent.
Now with what the tail light.
Paul's great, he's my right-hand man.
It's really a great group of guys, and we're all doing our damnedest to get this thing put together for this guy in the week that we have.
This is exactly what we do. We take the older muscle cars, modernize them, and just make them fun to drive.
It's gonna be.
We're building a rear spoiler and the deck lid. It's got a little swoop down in the center, just to give it a real modern look. I mean, it's something that the team and I come up with as we're going along, as we're building it.
And when I saw it, I was like, wow, man, they put a lot of work and a lot of thought into that. That's impressive, man. Those guys work good together.
Ricky had a hand in this too. He already replaced the factory trim with permanent steel additions.
I had it in my mind before I even started how it was going to turn out. It's basically like building a puzzle from scratch. When I finished that up, they took it to another level.
We can make it look pretty all we want to, but eventually we got to make it go.
Now before we do any mock-up or drop the engine and transmission in, we have to install the Riley Motorsports front cradle.
Look at that.
Now this thing is designed to fit the late model Hemi into these cars, and it's very, very sturdy.
Also got a whole bunch of stuff from RMS. They call it an altercation suspension kit for the old Mopars. A bolt-in front and rear suspension and coilover from Strange Engineering. That one's empty.
Hey, does that thing got a Hemi in it?
All right, guys, coming down slow.
Okay, come on.
Watch your hand, Tim, please. Now, this engine bay wasn't built for a Hemi, and we knew it'd have some room constraints with the new setup. Now, the transmission we're using is a Tremec 6-speed from American Powertrain. It's fitted with all of the components they make, as well as a hydraulic clutch pedal, clutch, and shifter.
A lot of people go to junkyards and get, 6-speed transmissions out and realize that they don't have the right shifter, they don't have the right mount, electronics to run it.
Our system is so complete. It comes with everything right down to the rubber pedal pads to do a complete installation without running to the parts store.
We take all that guesswork out and make it really easy.
Hang on, we're on the rack.
I can't go anywhere else. I'm hitting the shifter on the trans tunnel.
So you're saying... Car's on fire. It's okay, we got a fireman here, and Ricky's on it. Well, Ricky started the fire. The fireman started the fire.
This side's good to go here.
There we go. Yeah, that motor fills that engine compartment up, don't it?
Nice and wide.
So now that we got the new motor and transmission mocked up in there, it's not built yet, so it's gonna come back out. We chose this time to make the engine compartment look a little bit cooler and a whole lot of custom. We come up with some ideas to make these little covers, just 18-gauge sheet metal covers that'll screw in, and we're gonna hide all the computer electronics for the engine and the fuel injection underneath those panels.
I think I like that.
The key word is mock-up. You gotta put everything on the car 3 or 4 times to make sure it's right. You don't just blow it apart, paint it, and think this new late model 5.7 Hemi is actually gonna fit in that car without a little bit of trimming here and there.
No, it's perfect.
Is that too high?
We've got a good crew.
No, straight where you want?
It's nice to be able to do something where we can shine.
Cool, man. They made a spoiler out of thin air, basically. Just sculpted it out of metal. I've been watching that whole process. It's blown my mind. It's crazy.
And when you actually see a guy that's given up pretty much a car, I mean, to us car guys, giving up a car is your life. Well, he did it, and now it's time to get paid back.